Hi everyone, my name is Benaifer and I'm with Hopscotch Women's Centre. I'm the chief exec here, and Hopscotch is the second charity that I've been a part of. I was a part of La Leche League, which is a breastfeeding support charity. It's international, and I was part of the GB affiliate for 25 years. And this is really important because both Hopscotch and before that La Leche League, the way I was in those charities, the way I work, my values have all come from my two very, very different birthing experiences. I have two sons. First son was born after a very long 36-hour labour where I knew I was in the wrong place. I knew that an institution wasn't the place for me to give birth, and I needed to be home, but I didn't know why. So I went along. I suffered, I think, some systemic racism. I didn't feel I was treated, I wasn't taken as seriously as maybe I needed to have been, and the little one was born after 36 hours and some syntocin, and we know that when these drugs are given, it becomes a very rapid birth, and it took a long time for he and I to figure things out. 2 years later, I was armed with lots of information. I studied birth physiology. I understood how hormones work. Birthing hormones need the primal brain at the back of the head switched on, the frontal cortex switched off, and then the oxytocin flows and the birthing contractions happen and your baby is born. And I understood that theory. It really resonated with me as true. And so we were in Scotland in a little village with a GP surgery who, when they heard I wanted a home birth, said that they didn't want us as patients anymore. So I had to find a new GP surgery, and the empowerment started, because I was like, actually, what do I need a GP for? I'm pregnant and I'm going to give birth. The midwife wasn't supportive because she liked to drink, and when you have a home birth, if you're a midwife, you can't drink for potentially 4 weeks. So she wasn't supportive. I was referred to a consultant to help me change my mind, and that was the pivotal moment. That was the moment that I really and truly became a mother, when he told me I didn't know my own body and I didn't know my baby, and that I had to have this baby in the hospital. And I walked out thinking, yeah, that's not going to happen, because that's not the safest place for me. I understood that 36-hour labor, what that did to me and my body. Second time around, I didn't know if I could do it. So I had a home birth. I followed my instincts, and everything went as they should. And I felt so empowered. I felt so in touch with my body, with my hormones, with my brain, the way that I think and I operate. And so when I joined La Leche League, it was the right place for me, because we decided we chose attachment parenting as our style of mothering, because it really suited me, really suited me. And I could explore that in La Leche League, and explore that from a governance and charity point of view. How do you run a charity where there's listening and compassion and empathy? And then almost 25 years later, I brought that to Hopscotch, where our team members, our advocates, work with women very often in a state of trauma around abuse, homelessness, poverty, disabilities, just, really difficult, dark spaces that they're in. And the team work in a very trauma-informed and person-centered way. All these words mean the same thing. They mean coming from compassion, heart, love space. And so it all kind of fits really well. And I have a very strong left brain, so I love figures, and I love fundraising, and I love governance and policies. And to realize that I can do all of that in an empathetic leadership way is the biggest gift I have ever received. And that understanding of myself, that started with that first birth and it ended with the second birth. So thank you for letting me share my story. I'm so sorry I can't be there. I'll be having a diving lesson, that's why I'm very excited about that. But I would have liked to have been challenged and questioned and shared more of my thoughts, which I'm always happy to do. Hopefully Georgie will share my email address. If you want to WhatsApp me, she has my number. Please be in touch, and hopefully I can meet some of you soon. Take care and have a lovely evening.